Welcome to Celebrities Daily Blaster, your number one source for exclusive celebrity news, emotional revelations, and the untold truths behind the glitz and glamour. Today, we bring you a deeply emotional and heart-wrenching story, a shocking and tear-filled tribute from none other than global music icon Rihanna. In a raw and vulnerable confession that's left fans in disbelief and heartbreak, Rihanna has broken her silence and revealed the deep emotional pain following the tragic loss of her father, Ronald Fenty. Behind her fierce persona, chart-topping hits, billion-dollar beauty empire, and dazzling red carpet appearances lies a daughter who has just said goodbye to the man who shaped her. This isn't just a tribute, it's a soul-bearing confession. What really happened behind the scenes? What did Rihanna say in her final words to her father? What unseen struggles did they face over the years? And why is the world watching with bated breath as she navigates this unimaginable grief? Grab a tissue, take a deep breath, and prepare for the untold truth behind Rihanna's heartbreaking goodbye to her father. This 9,000-word expose will take you from the depths of her despair to the legacy of love that will forever live. The music industry was stunned when whispers of tragedy began to spread across social media. At first, it was just speculation, fan pages picking up subtle clues, a cryptic tweet from one of Rihanna's closest friends, and then the chilling confirmation. Ronald Fenty, Rihanna's father, had passed away. It wasn't long before a ripe Ronald Fenty was trending. Rihanna, who has always kept a tight lid on her personal life, broke her silence with an Instagram post that sent shockwaves through the industry. A simple black and white photo of her as a child sitting on her father's lap, with a caption that read, You gave me the rhythm, you gave me the strength, and even when we disagreed, I always knew you loved me. I will love you forever. Fans were devastated. The music icon who had given the world so much was now facing one of life's most excruciating losses. Rihanna's relationship with her father had always been complicated and painfully public. Ronald Fenty, a Barbadian warehouse supervisor and clothing designer, had a rocky past. His battles with addiction, public criticism of Rihanna, and even legal disputes were well documented. Yet, despite the turbulence, Rihanna never cut ties completely. She once said you don't get to choose your family, but you can choose forgiveness. And she did, time and time. Sources close to the singer revealed that in recent years, father and daughter had rebuilt their relationship in a meaningful way. The rift that once threatened to become permanent had been quietly healed, a fact that makes his sudden passing even more tragic. In an exclusive source leaked to Celebrities Daily Blaster, an anonymous insider close to the Fenty family revealed intimate details of Ronald's final moments. Rihanna was by his side in his final hours. She flew to Barbados privately, avoiding press and paparazzi. She held his hand and told him she loved him. He couldn't speak, but tears rolled down his cheek. This moment, described as a soul-cleansing goodbye, was kept private until now. It paints a powerful picture of forgiveness, love, and closure. An image of a daughter embracing her father not as a celebrity, but as a child losing a In an exclusive source leaked to Celebrities Daily Blaster, an anonymous insider close to the Fenty family revealed intimate details of Ronald's final moments. Rihanna was by his side in his final hours. She flew to Barbados privately, avoiding press and paparazzi. She held his hand and told him she loved him. He couldn't speak, but tears rolled down his cheek. This moment, described as a soul-cleansing goodbye, was kept private until now. It paints a powerful picture of forgiveness, love, and closure. An image of a daughter embracing her father not as a celebrity, but as a child losing a parent. Rihanna has always been the embodiment of strength. Whether performing at the Super Bowl while pregnant or running a billion-dollar empire, she rarely shows weakness. But after her father's death, sources close to her describe a woman quietly shattered. She cried for hours, a friend told Celebrities Daily Blaster. She locked herself in her studio, not to work, but just to sit with her. It's a rare glimpse into the emotional landscape of one of the most powerful women in the world. Despite his flaws, Ronald Fenty played an undeniable role in Rihanna's rise. He introduced her to music, encouraged her to sing, and even helped her land her first audition in Barbados that would eventually lead to her discovery by Jay. I owe him my voice, Rihanna once told Oprah in a 2012 interview. He gave me music before I knew what it was. Even in death, his influence is alive in her rhythm, in her strength, and in the legacy that now stretches beyond Barbados to every corner of the globe. Rihanna has always been an enigma, fierce, bold, unapologetic. But beneath the armor of fashion, fame, and flawless hits lies a deeply emotional soul who just experienced one of the most devastating losses of her life. The passing of Ronald Fenty didn't just signify the death of a parent, it symbolized the closure of a chapter that had been filled with highs, lows, betrayals, reconciliations, and a bond that defied public perception. What many fans didn't know is that, in recent years, Rihanna had begun writing a book, not for the world, but for herself. A diary of conversations, dreams, and reflections about her father. According to close sources, she had hoped to one day gift it to him on his birthday. That dream is now gone, but insiders say she still plans to publish it one day as a tribute. The entries are raw, honest, and paint a portrait of Ronald that the world never got to see. A man who tried, failed, tried again, and ultimately left behind a daughter who still loved him. In the aftermath of his death, Rihanna's inner circle has gone into complete lockdown. She canceled several key appearances, including a highly anticipated Fenty Beauty launch and a surprise feature at an international music festival. While publicists issued generic scheduling conflict explanations, those close to the star know the truth. She simply couldn't face the world. The grief was too fresh, too intense. Fans noticed the silence across all her social media platforms. No stories, no selfies, no promotional posts. Just the same black and white tribute that remained pinned to the top of her Instagram, haunting and eternal. But behind the scenes, sources say Rihanna has been finding comfort in motherhood. Her two sons, born from her relationship with rapper A$AP Rocky, have become her anchor. She holds them tighter now, a friend shared. She keeps telling people she wants them to know their grandfather's name, to hear his voice, even if just from old. A chilling revelation also emerged that left many stunned. Ronald had reportedly written a letter to Rihanna just weeks before his death. It wasn't mailed. Instead, it was found tucked away in a drawer of his home in Barbados. The letter, which has not been released publicly, was filled with messages of gratitude, regret, and a plea for continued forgiveness. He thanked her for her success, apologized for not always being the father she deserved, and told her he loved her more than fame, more than life. Rihanna reportedly broke down upon reading it. It was the closure she never knew she needed, but also a wound freshly reopened. That letter now sits locked in her bedroom safe, according to sources, alongside the baby bracelet she wore at the hospital where he held her for the first time. Ronald's funeral was a private affair, held under tight security, with Rihanna ensuring no media access. Despite the world's curiosity, she insisted on one thing. This goodbye is mine. The cameras don't get to have it. Dressed in all black, wearing dark shades, and holding her son's hands, she walked slowly behind her father's casket as local musicians played one of his favorite reggae tunes. It was not a Hollywood send-off. It was raw, real, and rooted in their homeland of Barbados. Neighbors and family friends later described it as the most emotional funeral they'd ever witnessed. You could feel her pain in the silence, one mourner said. She didn't speak much, but her tears. What many didn't realize until recently is that Ronald had also played a role in naming Rihanna. Her birth name, Robin Rihanna Fenty, was chosen by her father, inspired by his favorite song from the 1970s. That memory has taken on a bittersweet meaning for Rihanna, who now hears her name and thinks of the man who gave it to her. It's a constant reminder that even in moments of deep conflict, there was always love at the core. She's reportedly told friends she feels her name differently now, as if it carries new weight. Every time someone says Rihanna, it's like they're calling out a piece of him. Behind the scenes at Fenty HQ, the mood has changed dramatically. The usually bustling offices filled with mood boards, product trials, and marketing meetings have become subdued. Employees report a visible shift in tone, with Rihanna's leadership team moving cautiously, waiting for her cue to resume normal operations. One source described the environment as respectful mourning. Fenty's next campaign was even paused out of respect for her loss, and executives are considering rebranding one of their skincare products as a limited RF Tribute Edition. Insiders say the packaging will be black and gold, Ronald's favorite colors, and include a handwritten message from Rihanna in the box. The world might remember Ronald Fenty for the headlines, the scandals, and the public fallout, but Rihanna is choosing to remember him for something else entirely. He gave me my first microphone. It was a toy, but he said, "Sing like the world's watching." That's what I did. These words, spoken in private to a friend and later leaked to the press, echo louder now than ever before. In every award, every record-breaking album, every runway strut, Ronald Fenty's spirit lives. As Rihanna navigates this deeply emotional chapter of her life, the world watches with reverence. Not as fans, not as critics, but as witnesses to a daughter's heartbreak. In a rare moment where celebrity meets humanity, we're reminded that behind the fame lies flesh and blood, love and loss, healing and heartbreak. For Rihanna, this isn't just the end of a story, it's the beginning of a legacy. One where Ronald Fenty's name will forever be whispered in her lyrics, painted in her eyes, and echoed in the laughter of her. This is Rihanna's confession. This is her tribute. And this is the story the world will never forget.